Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 145. The album that I'll be reviewing today is Fat Joe's second album, Jealous One's Envy, released in 1995. By now you guys should know who Fat Joe is. Fat Joe, he's part of D.I.T.C. He's the head honcho of Terror Squad. I did a review on his first album, Represent. If you guys haven't checked that out, just go on my channel, type in Fat Joe, and it should pop up. So, Jealous One's Envy is the name of the album. If you notice, like, the title of the album, Jealous One's Envy, or also dubbed as the Joe album, it's kind of like a play on his name, stuff like that. So, the J stands for jealous, and the O stands for ones, and the E stands for envy. So I thought that was pretty clever, you know what I mean? Especially ahead of his time, for 1995. But anyways, this is what the album looks like. You got Fat Joe, they playing like scraps or whatever. They're playing some type of car. I think it's scraps is playing a CeeLo. You see Fat Joe's just chilling right there with his mans out there and shit like that. Alright. You see in the back, you see Fat Joe's chilling. Got like the mirror right behind him, stuff like that. Pretty cool. Open it up. Open it up. Has the credits. The back. Right. It's funny because I remember when I bought this album back in 2002. I bought it from an FYE in Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream in New York, in Long Island, and I remember the cashier, he was telling me, this is not the new album, right? Because at the time, his latest album was Jealous One's Still Envy, and I didn't want that album. I wanted this album, so I copped it. So I went to the cashier for him to rig it up. He's like, it's not the new album. And I was like, yeah, I know that. Like, I guess he thought I was looking for the new album. I was like, nah, I wanted the old album. So I thought I'd just throw that out there. All right. You know how I get down. I'm gonna go through some of the tracks, but before I start, I'm gonna go through some of the producers first. Then I'll get into the the guest appearance. Producers on the album: Diamond D. Shout out to Diamond D. Domingo. Shout out to my dude Domingo. L.E.S. Yes, the same L.E.S. The Queensbridge producer DJ that did "Life's a Bitch" for Nas. L.E.S. again. Domingo again. DJ Premier or Primo. Joe Fatal. Diamond D again. Domingo. Primo. I guess Fat Joe himself. And Joe Fatal. Those are the producers on the album. So that's pretty much it as far as the producers. Not much, but they all do their thing. Alright. Features on the album. Fat Joe. I'm just reading from the Wikipedia because the way they have it on here is kind of crazy. Alright, so features on the album: KRS-One, D.I.T.C, Raekwon, Armageddon, Big Pun, Keith Nut, and that's pretty much it. Alright, those are the features on the album. You know how I get down. I'm gonna go through some of the tracks. Alright. Track 1 is The Bronx Tale, that features KRS-One. Pretty dope way to start the album. KRS-One and Fat Joe together. They wrecking shop. KRS-One, he does his thing on the mic, KRS-One back in the 80s and 90s, he was definitely in his prime. I don't know, later on, in the later years, in the 2000s, he's just kind of I've kind of noticed a decline in KRS-One. I would say maybe sometime in the late 2000s, I've kind of noticed a decline. His rapping just kind of it got a little bit too relaxed for me. I like when he was more hyped and angry and he would just go in. And but in this song, he definitely goes in on that joint right there. Like I said, the song sets the tone of the album. the beat itself, like the sample, it kind of reminds me of something you would hear from like the late 70s, early 80s, like a mystery TV movie from that time, and it just has that vibe to it. You know what I mean? So, but pretty dope track. Like to me, definitely one of the best tracks off the album. And then that was produced by Dami D. Let me go on to track 2. Success, which was a single, which I believe was the first single off the album, and that's a pretty cool track right there. You know, that song is definitely like the hustler's anthem right there. Like if you're a hustler, you about getting money, you know, just trying to get that respect. You know, that's definitely the song for you. But it also has like a club feel to it, but not in a corny way. Club, when I mean by club, I don't mean club music from today. I'm talking about club music from back in the day, where like, you know, it was good. It's good for the clubs, but it's still good for the streets. You know what I mean? Like everybody could gravitate towards it. You can still get your little 2-step on, but you know, not like today's, you know, music and shit like that. But it's still dope. It's not corny. But it's pretty much sort of about, you know, about getting money by any means necessary, and it's just. But like with the money comes respect. You know, as long as you have that money, you're always gonna have respect, and that's what he talks about in that song. Like, you know, when you have the money, you get the power, and then when you get the power, you get the respect and all that. So that's when like all the, you know, you got all the girls coming to you now, and you got people that you never met in your life before. You never seen the light of day until as soon as you got money. They all over you, like, oh, yo, I want to make some money with you, blah, 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 that type of shit. And that's pretty much what he talks about in that song. So, pretty cool song. Like I said, there's a video for it. And that was produced by my dude, Domingo. Alright. Track 3, Envy, which was the next single, and it's the last single, because there was only 2 singles off the album. That was produced by my dude, L.E.S. It's a pretty dope video. You see, like, you know, it's black and white, and it has like that. The video is kind of like it has like a black and white 1940s, 1950s feel to it. You know, it's black and white, like I said. You know, you got, you know, Fat Joe and the whole Terror Squad. You see Cuban Link in there, Armageddon, and all those cats in there. You know, they all dressed up in zoot suits. Like, you know, from the 40s, like how the gangsters dressed back in the day, like the mafia cats, and they're like in Miami or some shit like that. Excuse me, they're in Miami and shit like that, and they, you know, it's just chilling and, you know, just lounging and shit like that, just doing what they do. But the whole premise of the song, you know, it's just about how people in the hood or people in general, just have that crab in the bucket mentality. You know, just niggas just being haters because they see you making it, and, you know, because they're not making it, they have to pull you down. It's kind of like misery needs company in a sense, and that's, everybody can relate to that. I can relate to that. I'm pretty sure you can relate to that, and that's pretty much what he talks about in this song. Like, you know, it talks about this kid that, you know, he was a good kid. You know, he had everything going on for him, but there's one dude that was just being a hater. You know, he had a nice girl and stuff like that. But there's one dude, he said that he sees that this dude is having it on for him. Everything's going good for him, and he wants that girl. And, you know, he just shot the dude dead over the girl and shit like that. It's just stupid shit, you know, which could be avoided. But, you know, it is what it is, alright? That's Envy, and that's what I got from that. Track 4, Gangbanger Interlude. It's just a skit. He takes the skit from the Warriors movie, in the scene where you see like all the gangs from the Bronx or like all over New York. They come to like Van Cortlandt Park, where they filmed the video, that scene in the Bronx, and you see Cyrus just speaking, and then, you know, just talking about we should all have a truce and stuff like that. And the scene where it says, "Can you dig it?" That part, they took that part and put it into the album. And that's where he got that, and then that's when Cyrus got shot by Luther, and, you know, people thought that the Warriors, you know, shot Cyrus, and it was like a whole cat and mouse chase, classic movie right there. But that's pretty much the Gangbanger Interlude. That's what that's about. Track 5, Fat Joe's in Town, pretty dope joint right there. That was produced by my dude L.E.S. That features doo-wop. Yes, the DJ, the mixtape DJ and producer and an MC as well. I think he just does the chorus. Doo-wop just does the chorus. But pretty dope track, just braggadocious track. And he just talks about how, you know, cats doubted him in the past, but he's just saying like, yo, I still got it. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not one to, you know, I'm still nasty on the mic, and that's pretty much what he talks about in Fat Joe's in Town. That's what I got from that. All right. Track 6, Part Dukes or Do. I think it's Part Do because it's French, but Part Do. What I got from that joint is just based on the hook itself. It's the sequel to Flojo. It's pretty much Flojo Part 2. So if you guys know that song Flojo off the first album, it's pretty much the same thing but Part 2. You know what I mean? Just a different beat. Pretty cool right there. But I prefer Flojo over that song Part 2. Shout out to my nigga Domingo. He did the beat too. On his SoundCloud, which I'll post down in the description box if it's still there. He posted the original version of Part 2, and I actually like that version a little bit better than this version. If I do find it, I'll post it down in the description box and you'll be the judge for that. But you know, I thought that was pretty cool right there. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Track 7, King New York, which is just a skit. It's a skit from the King of New York movie with Christopher Walken. It's a scene where, you know, Christopher Walken and his crew come to the into the picture shop, like that little picture shop or whatever, where the monsters was playing like spades or like poker in the back. And like, you know, there's a scene where, you know, Christopher Walken comes, it's like, yo, if a nickel bag gets sold in the park, I want in. And then, you know, he's talking his shit, and then he ends up shooting the mob boss. And like, that's what he talks about that, and that's the scene that they recorded for the skit for King of New York. And I thought that was pretty cool. I just throw that out there. Pretty dope. And it's a nice segue going on to the next track. Track 8, The Shit Is Real, the DJ Premier remix, because the original version, which was on the Represent album, was produced by the Beatnuts, but this version is produced by DJ Premier or Primo. It just talks about how he grew up in the hood and stuff, like how he grew up, like but like particularly when he's like in his teenage years, like how he had to do what to make ends meet, how people doubted him, like, or he ain't gonna be worth shit, you know, things like that. And that's what he talks about in that song. I actually prefer this version over the Beatnuts version. I do like the Beatnuts version, but this one, like the beat itself, kind of fits the subject matter. It just has like that really kind of like a somber, like it's lighthearted, but it's somber at the same time. Like when you listen to that song, the beat itself, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it kind of fits that. It kind of fits the subject matter. That's track 8. The Shit Is Real. There is a video. Oh, and there is a video for that too. It's pretty dope. It's black and white. And it's pretty cool right there. Track 9. Fat Joe's Way. Is a skit. You know, just you have Fat Joe and his crew. They're speaking. I guess it would be like Terror Squad. You know, they're just talking in Spanish, just saying how you know, Fat Joe's speaking in Spanish, just saying how you got these rappers, you know, who like, you know, just fronting, trying like they all gangster, they smoking weed and things like that. But then when you meet them in person, they buns. You know what I mean? And you got those same cats that would talk shit about Fat Joe, and you know, and in these same cats would say, "Oh, I'll kill this, I'll kill that." But then when they step up to, they meet Joe, like, "Yo, Joe, what's up?" Like, be on his dick and shit. But they just saying like, "Yo, niggas know now to fuck with me. I don't care who it is. Like, I'll kill anybody. I'll kill like a black, white, Hispanic, but I won't kill a Puerto Rican." I thought that was pretty funny, cause you know him being Puerto Rican, so I thought that was pretty funny right there. That's what I got from the track Fat Joe's Way. Like I said, it's just a skit. Track 10, Respect Mine, which features Fat Joe. Features Raekwon. Raekwon just does the hook. To me, one of the best tracks off the album. Love the beat for that joint right there. You know, Fat Joe. I mean, Raekwon. Fat Joe does his thing on that song. You know what I mean? Raekwon, he just does the hook. Unfortunately, I wish he had like a verse on that because he would have been nice on that joint right there. You know, the hook goes. The hooks goes by what is this? Nigga, respect my or anger detect man. Sploud, move from the gate now. That's the chorus of the. That's the chorus of the hook, whatever. But like I said, Fat Joe definitely goes in on that track. It's just another braggadocio track, pretty cool. Track 11, Watch Out, pretty dope cut right there. That's a posse cut. Features Big Pun, Armageddon, and Keith Nutt. Big Pun and Armageddon being their first appearance on Wax. I thought I'd just throw that out there. And the reason I say that is because I know some of you guys gonna say Firewater, but Firewater didn't come out till 1996. That was actually the B-side to the Envy song, and Envy came out back in '96 at the single. The song Envy came out in '95 on the album, but the 12-inch, like the actual single, came out in 1995. So I just thought I'd just throw that out there. So if you guys think Firewater was the first appearance, it wasn't. It was actually Watch Out. But Big Pun, Armageddon, they all do their thing. Keith Nutt does his thing. I'm trying to figure out who Keith Nutt is. If you guys know who he is, let me know. But I tried looking him up. I thought he was part of Terror Squad, but I don't know. If you guys know who Keith Nutt is, put it in the description box if you guys know. I don't know who he is, but I know there's like a freestyle with him and Fat Joe that came out in '95, and there's like a demo which I'll post in the description box. But that's pretty much it as far as the Keith Nutt dude. But you know, it is what it is. Pretty dope joint right there, dope posse cut. Track 12, Say Word, which was produced by Domingo. It's just another street track. It's kind of reminiscent of I would say it's like the sequel to Success in my opinion, just based on like it just goes more deep into it and stuff like this. It's just about the hustlers, just how they roll. They have the windows tinted at the time and things like that. Because back then, when you had your windows tinted, it's because you were somebody. It's not like nowadays where people had the cars tinted to be cool and shit like that. It's a cool thing to do. Back then, not everybody had that. Like if you had your windows tinted, it's because you were either somebody important or you was a drug dealer or anybody like that. Back then, relax, guys. I'm not saying nowadays. I'm talking about back in the day, because back in the day that wasn't really like the norm, if that makes sense. But anyways, street track, that's pretty much what he talks about. Track 13, Success, the DJ Premier remix or the Primo remix. My personal opinion, I prefer this version over the Domingo version. That's just me. It's just a lot more rugged, a lot more grimier. It's more darker. You know, oh my god, like the way Primo flipped that sample, which I do have that sample. I'm not gonna give that sample away. You guys should know what it is, but that shit right there, oh my god. I know some of my friends, like on Facebook, they prefer the Domingo version, and that's cool. But like I said, the Primo remix, I prefer. But that's definitely one of the best tracks besides Respect Mine. And going on to track 14, Dedication, it's just him shouting out all the people's like in his life and stuff like that, as well as like his rap peers, people that believed in him and stuff like that. You know, he just shouted out D.I.T.C and stuff like that. And then last but not least, the last track, probably like my favorite track off the album, Bronx Keeps Creating It. Definitely a great way to end the album. What I got from that track is like, you know, it's like him paying homage to his ode to hip hop, but it's also a braggadocio track right there. I mean, he just goes in on that song right there. Very, very dope, very dope song. All right. Overall, very good album right here. You know, Fat Joe definitely stepped his game up compared to Represent, because Represent, he was definitely in his early stages. You know what I mean? He was just rap just to rap. He was like more like a rappity rap out. I don't want to say rappity rap, but he I don't want to say he was undeveloped, but he was in a sense. You know what I mean? Like the dude can spit, man. He's definitely dope, man. especially being around D.I.T.C. Like, if you're around D.I.T.C, you have to know how to rap. But you know, yeah, man. Like I see, he stepped his game up, and with this album, production-wise, the production was a little bit more polished compared to Represent, because Represent was majority was produced by, you know, D.I.T.C, meaning like Diamond D, Showbiz, Lord Finesse, and I want to say Beatnuts did a track. The shit is real, the original version. But with this album, like I said, the beats were a little bit more polished. It was not as dark as, like, you know, Represent, you know what I mean? Which is not a bad thing. It was a little bit more versatile because he had joints that could be played in the club compared to the first one. You know, around this time he had a lot going on too. Like, you know, I think by that time he was like framed for like a murder that he didn't do, that he had nothing to do with, some shit like that. He whatchamacallit, he had his clothing line. I think it was called like 560, and he had a lot going on too. But it was crazy. But yeah, Fat Joe, Jealous One's Envy, released in 1995. Let me guys know what you think of this review. Definitely stay tuned for more reviews. I got a lot more coming. I know you guys been asking me to do reviews. I'm sorry, I've just been busy. Unfortunately, I'm unemployed right now. I got laid off, unfortunately. So, you know, I'll just like these past couple of days, these next couple of days, I'll just keep, you know, come up with more reviews and things like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Stay tuned for more. Peace.